Welcome to Tarot Thursday. Tonight I'm filling in for the great Mary Hawk, and I'm on here on myself. And we're going to have a great time. If you choose to have a great time with me, I'm going to put up the chat to the side, see people are there. People are all over the world understanding Tarot Thursday. And today is the full buck moon and the night before the crystal web. Already the crystal web is being attuned in places like the Philippines, uh, Tonga, and other countries on the very edge of time. So today we're going to play games. We're going to be there. If you want a reading, you can have one. If you don't, you don't. I've been working very well with something called Tarot, the Oracle, which is really Tarot AI project. But I want to share the screen with you. Not this one. The windows. There we go. And let's see if we can share it. There you go. You see it. And this is a program that we've been working with to do tarot readings. So, Oracle, do a one card reading. So I've been talking about this. But tonight I'm going to change anything. I will answer any question. Oracle of Hecate, one card draw. The moment has called. The card is revealing. The Seeker, the Fool, in the Tarot of Hecate. Well, that's very interesting. The Seeker stands at the beginning of all journeys, not naive, but open. The card is call to the trusty unknown and walk beyond the heart, curiosity, and courage. The seeker is not unwise, they're simply unbound. You're not beginning again, you're beginning more fully. The road ahead may look strange, but your steps are blessed. Carry only what is sacred. Let go of what has been meant for you here. So there you go. So this was kind of a fun piece. And I fully suspect. Wow. We stop it, pause it, stop screen sharing. And there we go. That was just kind of a sensible thing. The whole program will be there. The Oracle will be presented. Phase 1 will be introduced at Kansas City Pagan Pride. And of course, you'll be involved with it. And the second, which will be September 13th in Kansas City. And in Nashville, I believe it's the Wave Towers, 10/4. You will see the second phase of the Oracle AI and other forms of it at their workshops. And can I get them from anywhere else? No. No, they'll be presented afterward on mine. But no, if you really want to see this cutting edge and say, I was there when I saw this, be there. Because my class is AI, building the next gods. And of course, the god I want to create is a tarot or diviner. I build it. Whoa, deep one in the bride, lovers. So the first thing I want to talk about is that I guess today, one of the first cards I pulled, yes, creepy cards, is the lovers. Hi, Mary, how you doing? And so I'm going to do a little bit of a reading from Mary. First of all, we start with the 5 of Cups. Sleeping and dreaming. Right now, she's doing a lot of sleeping and dreaming and trying to bring that energy there. The very now energy is the 3 of Swords, right? She's trying to build her life. This is somebody who gets slain in the process. And she is known as Queen of Swords for a reason. And the Queen of Wands, absolutely at this point, she needs to go from the Queen of Swords and also take on the Queen of Wands aspect, because I think that's the next thing. Her magic, her rituals, her power. So that's a very quick reading from Mary Hawk. I will do one for Reverend Don Lewis. Here we go. Oh, strength. Don Lewis, please pray for him. Let's give him more strength because he's about to embark on another level. So let us pray for Don Lewis. Hail and give him strength. What does he need right now? The beast of Babylon, the chariot. He needs to be active and more energetic than he's ever been. He needs to be able to withstand things. So yes, the chariot of Babylon, please pray for it. And the last, the world. Don is re-emerging into the world, so please pray for his strength, his ability to move, to transport himself into the spirit world as well as the physical world, and also the world as a whole. Okay, who should else I should do a reading for? My friend Byron Bell, I did a reading for her last week, so I will do one. The 8 of Swords. she has had to deal with a lot of pain, a lot of death recently, and a lot of energy. So let's pray for Byron Ballard and all the pain she has been exposed to. Her next card is Six of Cups. She's accepting and being accepted as having to be the person with a strong priestess. Her book, Feral Church, is very important, but that she has to be the strong priestess. And the outcome is Hermit, right? Her magic works. And she may have to, she's feeling very much, we don't want her to be alone, but that's what she's heading for because she's not being listened to. All right, when we do one, Christopher Penzek. Today, Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh. And this one is that. His energy is that energy. He is just there with the energy. I saw a piece from him tonight. That's what I thought about how magic in our lives exists. So that's it. So his energy in the past has been love, even to the heart level. Seven of Swords, he's getting very defensive. He needs to defend his own. And I think that energy is starting to move to figure out how to defend himself. And we all know what's happening, but he's at the center of it. He's one of the most important figures, I think, in our community for this. So Christopher Penzek now needs to guard himself. And the Five of Swords, be ready. We may have, Penzek is entering into the battle. He may not know it, but he is definitely moving into the battle. I don't know who else. Katerina Nolan, I talked to today. She's in charge of that. Two of Wands. She's out there putting her energy together and figuring out ways to build her synergies. Strong, powerful synergies. Four of Swords. She carries a heavy burden. She carries her community and some of the grief way too strongly. You can ask for a reading, just show it up. It'll show up right here. I don't know. Can you see it? Well, all right. Oh, I will put the overlay on. There we go. And her second card is Ace of Discs. Her magic is wonderful. So she's developing her magic and her skills. And last but not least, the outcome, Queen of Swords. She's about to become a very strong person in charge of her own area. There you go. Who else should I do a reading for? Lawrence Lerner just had a birthday, so I'll do one for him. Here we go, Lawrence. The King of Swords. He's working with, and especially with this deck, he's working with a lot of energies. He's doing a lot of great things out there. He's also doing a lot of death doula work and other things. So there we go. That's his past, his present, the Knight of Cups. He is learning to live his emotions. His emotions all are out there. People love him, adore him, and he's letting his emotions really be strength. And last but not least, the Nine of Wands. He's becoming a strong and substantial leader with a lot of light around him, and we should be paying more attention. Who else should I do? Phoenix Williams, Coffin Williams, First Priest, Ace of Wands. Boy, those look like Jedi devices, don't they? Oh, the Five of Wands, but they still look like Jedi. So he now has been dealing with a lot of spiritual fighting in the past. That's what that card represents. And he's come out victorious. The Nine of Swords right now, it's just pure chaos. It's just pure chaos. And he's trying to make sense of it all. And last but not least, the Four of Discs. Yeah, he's going to win, but it's going to be through the battle, through dealing with the shadow stuff. Not of just his own, but others. Okay. Well, Haley Quinto, we will do yours. If you have a particular question, ask it. If not, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And we started with the Knave of Swords. You're now having to defend yourself and live at base level. You need to really look in this past of what base level looks like. Ten of Wands. And that means right now, today, you're carrying a lot of burdens. And they're magical burdens. They're useful burdens. A lot of them may not be your own, but you are carrying a lot of burdens today. And last but not least, we get the Empress. Strong feminine energy. This is a very difficult, strong feminine energy. And so, yes, you can do this. But right now, you're carrying too many burdens, and there you go. And so, all right. I will not do it with this deck. So Mary's asking, Can you do a reading for my hubby? This is a very dangerous deck. This is my more dark deck. Don't you like it? And I'm kind of just in that mood. But if I'm going to do a health reading, I like my Magical Mystical Tarot. One of the best decks in the world for doing things that are more abstract. And so here we go. So I'm just picking randomly from the middle. So the first thing we look at the Lord of Gain. There's been a lot of gain in this world, and especially the energy of being the Four of Discs. Is that energy that he has been there in the past, and it's something that is strong and rooted in energy and energy manipulation. Current one is Lord of Ruin. So whatever's been good about his health, something inside has now ruined it. And I mean really ruined it. Return in reality. It's like going from very high to very low. So that is interesting in that they don't know exactly what it is. So and you're feeling ruined. So what's the outcome of this? Well, let's at first ask the question: what is the mechanism they're going to find the answer? And then we'll find out an outcome. But what's the mechanism? Oof, adjustment. There needs to be a physical adjustment. That could be chiropractor work, but I think that's more about tissue, how it's working. His body's out of adjustment, and he needs to find that adjustment. Um, what is it? This is an organ card. This is a scalpel card. So more or less, the thing that's out of that, he needs to find his adjustment. There's something, some of the valves are not working, so other things, but he needs an adjustment. And the outcome is Lord Oppression. If he doesn't take care of this is going to become an energy. So let us all pray for Don, our friend. And what is it that we can, if he prays and it does get the adjustment properly, what does it come out to? Lord of Flame and Lightning. Oof. He will become a little older man, the Knight of Wands, but he will have a continuous situation. But you need to find out what's oppressing him, what is in there. There's an adjustment problem. And he was in great health just a little while ago, and now it feels like it's been ruined. So they need to find his adjustment. So that's my best. But I do not give him medical advice. No reader should give you medical advice. You should go to your sound healers, your sound doctors, those you trust, and not me, because I do not play a doctor on TV. I am not a doctor, though I did study medicine when I was a kid until I went to my first show. And that was first time I went in, I was in biology honors. I could do all the little surgeries. They took us in to see a cadaver, and that was the last day I wanted to be a doctor. Yeah, I couldn't handle it. There you go. So yeah, there's an adjustment problem, but it can be easily solved. But if it doesn't, you're right to be worried. Remember, if people understand that I am not, as a reader, deal with that. I don't. I'm not going to play games. I want to do the best job I can. So I see Mary there. Is this the time for the commercial? Is this it? No. Okay, I don't know where it is. There you go. So yeah, so I was doing a little Armageddon deck and everything else. Who should I do a reading for? I don't know. You know who I want to do a reading for? It's kind of weird. Governor Newsom. Here we go. New York. He's facing a really big battle, so why not? And Three of Cups. He's trying to find compromises. There was discord in communion, and that's his past. His present is High Priestess. He's fighting off the High Priestess, somebody who's demanding authority over him. In this case, very dark. And this is the Knight of Wands. Oh, Knight of Discs. Pretty scary guy. He's going to have to scare him off. He's going to have to become a very strong, scary individual who can scare off the High Priestess. No. How about that one? The world has absolutely changed. Today, a lot of the AI stuff has been happening. As you know, I'm building the Oracle. What I don't know how to do is not have this take over. I wanted to do a side by side, but I don't know how to do it. Okay, that's a more reasonable question. I will do my best. Give me a number. Give me a number. Give me a number. Give me a number. Just give me any number in the world. Give me a number. 1 to 78. Give me a number. Haley. Come on, come on, come on. Just give me a number. So you got to have interactive energy. If there's not an exchange of energy, how can you do tarot without an exchange of energy? And that's why people used to be. I came from the age when you did readings live, and I actually did one of the first co-sharing offices in a while for tarot readers. So I let them borrow things. Come on, Haley, give me a number. A number. All I want is a number. So if you want to see more, you should go to CarelianPublishing.com, and you should then get your tarot book and things of that nature. 4. Okay, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the cards I'm going to use for reading. So you have to have this sort of interaction. Thank you. And I realize there's delays from when I talk to when you guys read it. So number 4 card is Lovers. Simply put, it talks about lovers. So yeah, is he worthwhile? Yes. There's probably tension there. There may be a lot of things. Right now it says there's lovers. There's love there. But what is the real problem? The Queen of Thrones of Discs. One of the biggest problems is that you're paying more attention to the relationship than you are your earnings, your finances. And this is causing tension inside yourself and around because you're not paying enough attention with the Queen of Discs to your own finances. You must always look to your own finances and do so. So it's the next step. Here we go. 3rd time tonight. Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords. And there we go. Yeah, you have to be willing to fight and set your boundaries. There's love there. But are you setting boundaries? Are you building things? 2 queens tonight. That's a very powerful statement. And the outcome is the Knight of Discs. He'll step up. He really wants to step up. But he doesn't know where his boundaries are. He doesn't know where he's allowed to go. And so he's having a, typical male response. He doesn't know what you want. He doesn't understand. And maybe he does or maybe he doesn't want it, but he definitely wants some of his independence back, what he sees as his independence. Regardless of a reality, it doesn't have to be a reality. It doesn't have to be a reality. You don't have to be seeing it true. It doesn't have to be any of that. But there's that feeling. Remember, relationships are all about feelings. You can talk about all the logic and the facts that you want, but they aren't there. Right. Well, good. Yeah. So it's really hard for sometimes. So there's a problem of expression, and you making sure and being lured more into his world, into your own. So there we go. Yep. I'm glad that I kind of answered the question the best I can. I mean, tarot readings you should always take with a grain of salt. But if the people of paid attention to Cassandra, they might still have lived. So why do you go to an oracle if you're not going to pay attention? That's one of the questions is, why are you paying that money? Why are you paying that energy? Why are you doing it? If all you want to hear is something to reinforce what you're doing. The idea of an oracle is that you can find out or learn to live in that reading, in that moment, in that space. And is it good enough for you to continue in that space, or do you need to change something? Now we're starting learning a lot about quantum entanglement and other aspects that have been known to mystics for hundreds of years, thousands of years, millennia, maybe eons. And they may have been getting that communication with mycelium, but by eating it, by participating in it, using it to survive, living in environments where it exists. That was, that's hundreds of million-year-old consciousness. Dealing with animals, dealing with trees, dealing with all of this, we always knew our minds were attached in different ways. It is the coming of the bicameral brain, the splitting of the bicameral brain, early in the agricultural revolution, the movement from human beings being their position, their roles, and being involved with that, and now becoming much more of their castes. It's a hard thing. We changed, but at one time we were very conscious and aware of this, and we carried it into our mysteries and our secrets. The idea of Atlantis being an evolved intelligence community, I believe that's true. I don't think they were. I think that they were solar powered because I don't think they found or discovered electricity as we know it. Everything that we've learned about them, everything we've heard about it, they just found evidence of 140,000-year-old potential civilization under the sea. They're going to be checking this out for years, but it does break the current psychology. So there we go. All right, folks, name me another person to do a reading. Yes, I left my cup in the other room. Yes, it's Coke Zero. Yes. And that was not an endorsement. All right. I'm going to do one for J.P. Pritzker tonight. Oh, he's very welcome. I love Don. Okay, Queen of Discs. He is, at this point, his past has been about finances. He's had to deal with a lot of energy of finances and everything else, and he's dealing with the best he can. Today, Ishtar, the star. He is a rising star. He is standing strong. He's had to deal with money. Now he is dealing with being a strong star on the stage. And our Governor Pritzker and the Four of Wands. This is a very interesting one. That's a reptilian. At some point, he's going to have to make a deal with the reptilians. Who are the reptilians? Well, it depends who you believe. But certainly that forces which are coming against us. There's a lot of people. David Icke, who I've interviewed, and I've listened to him a number of times, believes the aliens are amongst us, shape-shifting aliens. And that they're going to throw us into chaos. A lot of what he predicted they were going to do is now coming to pass. Actually, a lot of prophecy is that. So I'm going to ask you tonight, what do you think? Do you believe in prophets? Do you believe in psychics? Do you believe in energy? Do you believe it's possible? So here we go. Oof. Judgment Day, the Garden of Eden. Very interesting card. And I was pulling in for the energy of right now. So we're in the middle of judgment. That's what at least the Christian nationalists want you to believe. And a lot of pagans believe that. A lot of liberals believe that. A lot of Muslims believe that. But it's especially true in the very MAGA world of the Christian nationalists. Right? And the Nine of Cups. And they believe, under the eyes of Bass. Some would see that as the dark side. There's a lot of trying to share and preserve the drink. They want to spread the energy and power. And the outcome is Seven of Cups. For me, this is the Seven Mountains, and they're going to take 4 of them real soon. So, yeah, what a strange energy. So, what do you guys want to read? If you guys don't want me to read, should we continue Tarot Thursdays? Because I think the last couple of times have been very low number of readings. Do people want to continue it? Is it worth selling? Or should you release Mary from her Thursday night bondage of Divination TV and possibly look for other ways to deal with this? Don recently gave up Midday. Now he's talking about coming back and with a new show here really shortly, like in the next week or so. He's been working on it. He's a little later than he expected to be, but, he'll get there. So what is he going to do? I don't know. Do you want to do a show on Corellian TV, Divination TV? We also have other types of channels and spaces. Everything's about to change in a big way. And so if you really want something to say, come and say it with us. And do it. All right. How about Belladonna Laveau? Good out there at ATC. She's doing the great fight, but what is she facing? The 8 of Discs. This is saying she's recently had to deal with, in her past, with a major health problem. And she's had real difficulties dealing with that. On to death, 8 of Discs, and it's costed her really a lot of money, time, and energy. Today, she is at the devil. She is absolutely the catalyst of change. and is seen as a villain in so many places, and she is developing these sort of abilities. Oh, because she doesn't care anymore. She is now taking on a lot of what we would call strong feminine aspects. Remember, women are devils, so that's very strong. And she's taking on a lot of energy. And the outcome is Six of Wands. Wow, leading people out of slavery. Belladonna Laveau has the energy to lead people out of slavery if she knows what she's doing. So I think that's very fascinating. Hmm? Um, how about Lady Alyssa? Let's go ahead and do one for her. Ten of Cups. Beautiful. She is at the heart a comforter. I've said that before. And in this deck, she is about to take on much more of what we would call the role of keeper of the cups. She's emotional strength. She is the comfort. And she's been that for a while. But today, even more so. Wow, Yagasoth, the wheel. She's everything is in her hands. She has more in her hands than she can possibly imagine. She actually holds the world in her hands. And Yagasoth, the sort of madness of it all. I mean, does she believe who she thinks she is? I think that's the real question. Eight of Wands. She's a guardian. I mean, the light she'll put on things, and the guard, she will protect what she has to protect. She's just having to figure out what she has to protect. And the communion and the family. So that's a very strong energy. All right. Next one, Jason. Jason Highcorrell. Ooh, the Hounds of Lang, the moon. He has to be the energy of it all. Yes, this is mainly on Facebook now. It's also on YouTube, Corellian TV. Two of Cups. Boss, Two of Cups. He needs to seek out, and he is a good person to have partnerships with, and he is now seeking out, and he's working with Don and everything else, but he is seeking diplomacy, I guess you would call it, or energy, or whatever you want to say. And last but not least, the Six of Discs. A lot of the energy he's going to be a man of resources and earning a living and coming around to the finances of his energy. His energy are doing. So yeah, we're across. So large fish 537. We're actually across about 15 channels right now. I don't remember all of them, but we're on YouTube through Divination TV and Corellian TV. We're on 8 or 9 Facebook channels. So all the chat rooms can come here. I think we're on a Twitch channel too, and we're growing. We're going to be able to add more, be more, and everything else. And these shows are absolutely recorded. Who else should I do a reading for? Susan Danzig Star, one of my very best people. And this is, wow, the Knave of Cups. She carries around such great energy. And she's been carrying around the energies of all the people around her in Cup. I mean, so she's always adding to the energy. And then the next thing is the 10 of Discs. People trust her. The 10 of Discs. So she's a source of, and especially with money, finances, help, she's been a source of energy right now, of stabilizing and making feel better. She's one of the greatest donators to Gaia Thrifts. GaiaThrift.com. Just join my other project. And the empty space. The sun. She's bright. She gives space. She creates energy, and that's what she's going to do. She actually, I know for a fact, she's doing an LGBTQ meetup in the red state of Indiana. I won't give you any more. Look her up if you want to do it. All right. There we go. Yeah. It's a very interesting deck. So who should I do a reading for? So I'm going to ask very straightly, should we be continuing Tarot Thursday? Or should we move on to another project? Can we do other things? Do you want to be doing a Tarot Thursday? Or do you want to do tarot readings? Tarot readings are about to become very popular. So Corellian TV is now at a crossroads. You can see people that there's a battle for attention, battle for energy, battle for all of it. So that's his past. Right now, King of Cups is really doing a very good job of being King of Cups, of being a center for energy for people to have a good emotional life. So a lot of people have a good emotion for it. And the outcome is, the Queen of Cups. Can we build a better community? Something more energetic, more something the Queen of Cups, something more emotional. The Queen energies have been there. All right. So if I don't get any readings here shortly, when I get to the bottom of this deck, that'll be the end of the show. So there you go. That's interesting. You're saying you just found it. Okay, so yeah. Um, yep. So one of the things you have to understand, I think one of the things I think people do not understand right now is that we're in a play of realities. Uh, so if you would be sad if it suddenly stopped, how do we get more attention to it? I will give. There you go. Do you have a question or just a general reading? I won't use this dark. Yeah. So yeah, let me go ahead. This is a little dark. So if you want a more lighter reading, I will use my Mystic. Draw one of my favorite decks. Give me a number. Give me a number. LG Fish 5337. Give me a number. Give me a number between 1 and 78. Numerology is very important. If you want to have a numerology report, and I think you should at this point, you should contact Mary Hawk. She does a great report from just that. Hi, Jen. Okay, large. I want a number. What part of this don't you have? So I've just lived through a tarot situation, watching it, and so has Jen. We've been watching a tower come down. Give me a number. Give me a number. Give me a number. Large fish 5537. Give me a number, and I will do a reading. But you have to give me a number. If you can't give me a number, you're not going to give me that exchange of energy back. There you go. All right, I'll just make up a number 7. I'm really disappointed. Come on, come on, come on. 7. That's interesting. Aeon, you're at the center of your life right now. So we go ahead. This is my deck that I'm using. And right now you're standing at the nadir of what you're doing. Right? You're at the highest point, the nadir, the lowest point, whatever way you want to look at it. But the world's yours right now. You haven't been operating yet. The second thing is, the Knight of Discs, which means you got a lot of work right now. What are you doing? You should be paying attention. You've got the world at your hand. You should be digging in and doing the work. The problem is, what work are you doing? I'm going to give this going to be a 4-card reading. A Lord of Abundance, just work in general. Everything in life is really working pretty well if you would just put in the work. You have to put in more work. You've got it. Everything the decisions you're making right. And if you do, the outcome is, if you do it right, you're going to leave sorrow. The problem is you're letting your sorrow, your energy of grief and being that, ruin your current time of being both. Having the world in your hand, Aeon, and having these good choices in the air, abundance and good choices. But you're not wanting to do the work because you don't trust it. Ultimately, you just don't trust where your life is and that it could give you a good life. But yeah, it does. All right. We're going on to, then again, 54. Okay, let me try that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's easier to do it from the back, isn't it? Okay. See, because there's 78 cards, so it's better to do it back because that's closer to 54. Do you know how many difference it is? I do. 24. And there we go. Lord of Flame and Lightning. That is the past energy that you have been. You've been the Lord of Flame and Lightning. I hope that was good. Lord of Lightning, energetic. So you had a lot of energy. And Lord of Lightning and Flame means there's a lot of conflict that you've been working with, but you've been strong through it. Lord of Happiness. The time for right now is for you to have happiness. And of course, we have benediction and placid. So you should really focus on your happiness, both whatever, through prayer, through physicality, through joys, through fuck yous, whoever knows, whatever you want. But you should face in your happiness. Right now is the best time in the world for your happiness. And the outcome of this, actually, happiness is a good one. Lord of Love, you'll see more energy, more love come into your life. Really, right now, you just need to focus on your happiness and your love because you come through so much through the Lord of Flame and Lightning. I'm going to do one more card. What will you do if you do this? What will happen? All right, there we go. Oh, Lord of Earthly power. They're looking at a pretty good time. I mean, if you do this, focus on your love, focus on your energy of love, get into that paradigm. Lord of Earthly energies, earthly power. That's it. 4 of discs. That's money, authority, whatever it is that you want. That will come to you. Stay in love and keep building towards your own energy of love. There you go. So I'm doing my. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Jan. I really do. So I'll go back to my Cthulhian deck. How about Mayor Ricky? I might do him. He's the mayor of Danville and Breezy Tower. The tower just came down. So let's see what we get for him. The 2 of discs. He's making deals as best he can, and he's dealing with his own dark energies with it. Nobody really believes that he's trying to do the best for it. That's cool. Oh, that was the Mystical Tarot. It's about my deck. I've had it about 30 years. It's based on the Thoth and Crowley aspects of it. The Magical Tarot, yeah, if you try to buy one, it's about 100, 110 for a good deck. Wow, 4 of Cups. He's celebrating the best he can. He's trying to share a drink. He's trying to share energy as best he can. And last but not least, the 3 of Discs. He's trying to control the monster that has gotten Danville there. So he's really is working to contain the devil. Like I said, we just had that. So yeah, this is the Mystical Tarot. It's like I said, it's a 30-year-old deck. And you ever welcome, Man of Good Bear. If you ever really want to have energy, you can do. You know who my next person is? Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to do Selena Fox. And King of Wands. She is a very powerful person and been moved into the position. King of Wands. She's got a throne of sorts that she doesn't really sit on. The next thing is, right now, the 8 of Cups. She's being called on in a way to be our most sacred person. Right? So there it is, the boss energy. And last but not least, the 2 of Swords. Her and those around her love, they will continue to fight for us. So yeah. There you go. What else you want to know, folks? So, yeah. I know. So, what's the next person? Knave of Wands is a good card. But I had no one in mind. So, yeah. So, I'm here. I'm still going through this. So, one of the big things people don't know about, they know my origin story about the party and everything else. One of the things I've done throughout history, I've done, sort of all sorts of tarot. One time I was one of the greatest tarot readers in the world. For 1 year, I was actually pretty globally known before internet, before good internet. Yeah, back in 92, 93. I was doing a lot of readings in Chicago, and I did Smashing. I did some of the clubs. I did Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan. I read for Bob at the end of the road, Birds at the end of the road. Did a lot of readings for that around a club called Avalon. People have been talking about nostalgia, so that's where I'm at. Yeah, I did. I was the urban terrorist. Until it was most people playing urban terrorist. I'm urban terrorist. I could come out and do a reading for you anywhere. Because readings were then and still are a very disruptive force to your life. People don't realize it. They take them so casually. They do. They take them very casually, but it is a system that can actually have divine and deep implications One of the beliefs out of the Book of Doom, they keep talking about Paul Atreides, Muad'Dib, as a hero. He's not a hero. It's just that we've gotten used to the idea because he's the antagonist. He's a terrible person, but one of the things he does is he sees his future, and it's always these ovulating waves. There's different aspects of it, and he can make a decision to finally he was locked into his vision. Once he got locked into the vision, there was nothing he could do. He had to let play out his fate, and he even talked about how boring his life became. But in that process, there is this idea that you want to learn about your future, the oracles and such, um, that you can. So there you go. All right, Athena, Roka, Athena, give me a number. I need a number from you. How powerful is the psychic mind? Could could it be something that we can have that helps us with AI because it's coming in fast? So Athena Rosecard, can you give me a number? Would you give me a number? If not, I will go on and do the reading. Gotta be careful. I have a backdrop here because I'm in the shop at GaiaSwift.com. All right, so I'm going to give your pass card one more pass. I'd really like a number, but I guess there's too much of a delay on this for some reason. We're going to have to check into that. And you can watch this on Krellian TV, Witch School. We're on Divination TV. You can see it on my own personal page, Ed Hubbard, Ed the Pagan Show, Mary Hawk, Don Lewis. There's a lot of them. So Sun Energy is Athena is your first card of Sun Energy. That is your past. You really have been a very bright and energetic person. You have a lot of things out there. Okay, now you give me 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that you're an energetic person from the first card, that you have a lot of energy. And the fourth card is the Lord of Truth. You are not, you really are dealing, Four Swords, is that you're dealing with a lot of compromise. You're having to find compromises and you're at a truce state, which means a truce is never the end of the war. It's not. By definition, it's not. It's a pause in your personal war. So that's where you're at. From there, Lord of Disappointment, you're being very disappointed right now by the people around you. One of the hardest things you're dealing with is being disappointed. And they're disappointed with the people around you. So you've got a lot of energy as we went back. You're a sun person, but you're making a lot of compromises. Because why? Because you love the sun. And sometimes the sun gets covered and you're finding a great disappointment. And Lord of Strife, so what you're emerging into is a very strifeful period. You're going to have to battle back to have your energy. There you go, the 5 of Wands. You need to have your inner energy really stroked up, really built up. And because there's going to be strife around you. Nothing I can say but strife. I don't think it's so much family as it is work. Maybe outside of the house, maybe inside of the house. And the last card, but at least the Ace of Wild, the Root Pie of Fire, energy of the divine. So we talked about fire and having strife coming into your life and energy, but there's also, you notice the Ace is there. Ace of Wands means you can overcome it. Not only if you overcome it, you'll be not only stronger for it. Easy breezy thing to say. That isn't what kills you, leaves you with tremendous trauma. But it can say that not only you can have peace again, but you have to leave your sunny disposition behind for a little bit in order to win this battle. You really have to realize it's your own energies, your own personal energy is important. You can't keep it to a truth. You need to really kind of establish your boundaries. And once you do that, you'll find a lot more energy and passion in your day. I hope that's helpful. Hope it's useful. All right. Who else do I want to do one of these readings for? Let me name it. I've talked about Belladonna. I've talked about Lawrence Lerner. I've done Belladonna on that. Maybe Gregory White, Nashville. He's doing a great podcast called the Feral Podcast. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You should check it out. And he is the Hierophant. He comes from an energy of being an energy. Oh yeah, absolutely. We are in for a ride. I think you are, and I think it's really important that you have to establish your boundaries and your borders, and willing to defend them. All right, we do this one, and then we have the Knight of Wands. Oof, high energy, focused energy. Oh my gosh, just that. He's out there roaring and on his chariot, and he's doing a lot of things. And the outcome is the Knave of Discs. For all his sacrifice, all the energy he's doing, he's going to see a flow of revenue, a flow of currency from what he's doing. All right. So, Mono Bear, I need a number. That's what I'm really looking for, a number. And it seems to take me for a few minutes. So let's go ahead and talk about another thing. So the Pagan World Congress is coming up in 91 days. And Mary Hawk is very involved with that. So is Reverend Don, everybody here on Tarot Thursday. I'm actually building a platform. So I'm not only setting up the Oracle, which I've talked about, but we've also kind of set up the energy of the Pagan World Congress, where we're going to gather everybody together. The World card, the 20. We hope to have everybody come and join us on that. Check it out. Paganworld.org is the page you want to go to. All right. So we're going to count the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the fifth card is the Princess of Cups. So one of the strong energies you have right now is it's your Princess of Cups. And what that means is you're holding a lot of energy for yourself and for others emotionally. They're seeing you as somebody that's important, but not at the center. And then we have the Lord of Strength of Wands. And you're being called on for a lot of strength movements. And as the Princess of Cups tells me, it's a lot of people around you are very emotional. They're very upset, and they're seeing you as a source of strength. You may not like that, but that's what they see you at. The Lord of Interference. Your life is being interfered with. You feel like the life is being, that you should have, that you want to have, is being interfered with. Absolutely. So where's that interference coming from? Fortune. Just finances, money, how things work, things breaking, things doing things. You're really feeling that interference with your life, with the kind of the energy of fortune. What's the next thing? The Emperor. You need to go ahead and allow yourself. And when I see this in women's decks, it oftentimes says, some people say, that means you have to depend on the man. I don't think this is about depending on the man, but the system. You have to acknowledge the patriarchy around you. Work with it in the best way you can. So I always feel like this is a patriarch card for you. And last but not least is the Hanged Man. Go ahead and let yourself, you don't have to do everything. You can only do so much. And heaven and all of that can only stand. So act as a very strong, individualized person. If you have to make sacrifices, you do. But they're not really sacrifices, are they? As we've learned. They're really bits of knowledge, bits of energy. Why is the Hangman the card that it is? It has a lot to do with Odin and the idea of that energy. Hi, Maggie. All right, Maggie. And I think you might be the last reading of the night, so you came in perfect. Give me a number. You get you. So I hope that was useful. I think that is. While I'm waiting for Maggie to give me a number. Maggie, give me a number. Let's go ahead and do this next one. Who are we going to do this one for? Vladimir. Let's see what Vladimir's got. Ace of Swords, man of violence and energy. He's got war on him. He's got the ability to do that. There we go. The Hanged Man. Right now he's making sacrifices and energies. There we go. And Justice. They look like he's going to lock his ass up. Okay, Maggie, I'll do your reading. And I saw 5, 1, 2, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I think you're going to start watching Tarot Thursday. I'm going to do it. But I am going to ask you again, is this worth doing? The first half of the show, we had hardly anybody show up. And it's only towards the end when everybody comes rushing in. Right now, Daughter of Rainbow Reconciliation. So one of the things Maggie's involved, you're really deeply involved is reconciliation. So you're trying to reconcile stuff. You're really into reconciliation, and that's your energy, and you should be able to do so. You're by nature. Princess of Discs. Watch your income. You have a good income. You have enough money, but you really have to watch it. Um, the Knight of Cups. Those men in your life, they are trying to be very strong. They're trying to be very emotional. They're trying to build a sort of energy. But one of the biggest problems that they've got is that they're emotionally needy. Um, Lord of Established Strength. You're gonna have to get into having people that you trust with the established strength. You're just gonna have to trust the systems around you. And then last but not least, the Princess of Floods, Princess of Cups. You're really gonna have to let your emotions out. You really have got to let them out in a constructive way because you're really feeling those strong emotions, Maggie. I know it. And I'm going to go one more card. Lord of Strength. Four of Wands or Nine of Wands. Strength is coming. I mean, it's going to be tough, but your strength is there. The strength is coming. It's just tough. And really, your emotions around you are just swarming. All right, SWAC fan, let me go ahead. And then I'm going to do large fish. I'll do one follow-up question for them. And then we'll be done for the night. Go ahead, SWAC. Give me a number. Number, huh? Okay, come on, SWAC. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do large fish and then SWAC, and that'll be it for the night. 2, 3. 22 is an interesting number. I like 22. That's my birth number. I'm a master number. And Mary Hawk, you should probably do a reading with Mary Hawk sometime. You start out with Fortune. Right now, the energy. Well, thank you, Maggie. But I don't know how helpful it was. I always try to be helpful, but know that there is a outcome of this that is your result. Okay, so large fish, let me go ahead. You have Fortune. There we go. The energy of Fortune. Two of Cups of love and fortune. Whatever it is you're thinking about, there's love and fortune right there. And last but not least, Lord of Happiness. I couldn't ask for 3 better cards. Really, you have fortune, and according to this, you have fortune and love and happiness. You have a lot of emotional happiness, so that's your paradigm. All right, and then my last reading for the night was SWAC fan. Okay, can you have a general reading 2? You gave me the number 2. All right, so 1, 2. The first card of the day is Lord of Valor, and you see it's a dragon. So one of the things that is you're coming out of is this dragon fighting phase. You have to fight your dragons, and you've slain them. How nice! And behind that is the sun. I have the twins of there. So you've battled your way to a space where there's sun and light. Where are you at today? Priestess of the High Priestess. You're contemplating what to do next. You're navel gazing. You're looking at things. You're trying to deal with that. The High Priestess card is very positive in the sense of a lot of feminine energy. But one of the things wrong with the High Priestess card is they sit on their throne and wait until they see what's coming out. They're really always watching. They're not a reactive card so much as a watching card. And the outcome of it is, the Hermit. The Green Hermit, though. You want to be productive and everything else, and you have to really look to yourself. You really can't expect the world to give it to you, as much as I wish you could. And then last but not least, Lord of Futility. You're bashing your head against things. You just are. And you're kind of getting yourself caught into a sort of self-developing prophecies. What you think and what you're saying is really kind of taking an energy to you. All right, so I'm going to do another 1, 2. Last time I'm going to thing. But the truth is, Lord of Harmony comes in. If you can get out of your head, get out of your mind, you're doing pretty well. And you have a lot of harmony. You don't want happiness, you want harmony. And the Lord of Wealth. If you can get out of your own way, the money, the energy, the resources are there. You're just in your own way. And it's really hard. Talk to a psychologist, talk to a psychiatrist, talk to a good friend that actually has some training, or talk to somebody who's involved with wealth. Get out of your head. And there you go. And this has been Tarot Thursday. This is with me, Ed Hubbard, also known as Coven. And I am going to do one more reading. And here we go, folks. This is for the world in general. This is for particularly, uh, let me do one for Netanyahu. Ten of Swords, battle. He's in a battle. He sees himself as a great warrior in a battle and about to be executed. I mean, that sort of thing. Five of Discs, negotiating, trying to solve them. Last but not least, the Nine of Discs. So, yeah, he's heading for a ghostly good time. So there we go. You're welcome. Okay, I have 2 more minutes. Let me remind you, go to paganworld.org and join us for the Pagan World Conference. You'll not regret it. We're one of the best in the world for these sort of things. So you should do that. Come back next Tarot Thursday where Mary Hawk and her team will do more readings for you. And let's, tell your friends about it. Come back and do things for them and with it. So last but not least, let me leave you with the blessing. I will not take it from this card, which is the Fool. The world is a foolish place, but I'm going to do one more card. Right? Don't let the world be cruel. Just don't. And don't, Lord of cruelty and sorrow. So all I can say is that may you find benefit, no matter how cruel you think the world is and how sorrowful it is. Let us hope that you can find the blessing of science. May the blessing of logic be there. Because it's so emotional right now. There's very little you can do about it. So you really should think about and figure out how to be, how would I say it, strong. I guess that was one of the biggest things. Cups and strength is the cards of the day. So in closing for this, I think the card that your energy, your emotions, and everybody's emotions are running a little hot and heavy right now, and you need to bring yourself into some sort of logical answer and that else. So I'm glad that it helps out a lot for the questions. I guess that you guys enjoyed this. Think about it, how you can help Mary and Divination TV. We'll be back next Thursday. And, write me if you think I should just start a show. Or maybe I should start doing tarot readings again. I know I'm being asked. But here you go. If you want to find me during the day, Guy of Threats, I am always available online. So you can always DM me. Blessed be, folks. May you have blessings and healing.